Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah.
A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to Nerf Secrets Revealed and Honest J. Nowak's unique crossover, just simply titled Flying with the Foam. And now I might as well keep on going here. I feel like I'm going at a marathon with all this good stuff that's been happening here. But today's review is going to be about another blaster from the Super Series. Whether you want to call it Elite 2.0 or Super is probably up to you at this point. I really don't know what the point is in trying to fight for trademarks. Well, anyways, this is in fact another addition to this little series right now. It's almost unknown whether or not we're going to have a little continuation go on with the Super Series as a whole, but with the teal, light gray, and orange combo, I don't really know for sure whether or not we will be able to have anything go on further with the Super Series as a whole, because I do in fact have most of the blasters as it is. This was one of the first that I picked up at the time. This is just simply called the Volt, but I much rather refer to it as Voltage, simply because, well, how could you go wrong with a little bit of high voltage laser power? Now, for the record, just like with most of the other members of the EX family of blasters, this is pretty much the most recent of all of them. But with the rest that we got around here, including the Nightfinder, Fire Strike, Inferno, and some others here and there, the Voltage certainly does have its own share of unique laser action. But of course, it's mainly well known for being another one-shot blaster with some dart storage involved. But unlike the other EX blasters out there, dart storage is not located down here because this is in fact a tack rail, just like the one on the top. So that's 2 in total. But this tack rail actually offers a unique space to hide the batteries in. And that's right. This is one of the only occasions where a tack rail is a separate piece to where it can be a battery compartment. And all you need to do is to pretty much poke in a pen or paper clip or something down there, and this snap should easily disengage and you should easily pull it out there. It's a pretty nice smooth pull and push, really, and the clicking sound is honestly pretty satisfying in a way. But this is mainly what an EX blaster is. It carries 3 darts in total, 1 in the barrel and 2 more in certain storage tubes. So this one, of course, like I said, it doesn't really store them down here, it stores underneath the grip actually. Which is pretty unique actually, because there have been a few occasions where I've spotted some nice tricks where you can store an extra dart underneath the grip right here. Case in point with the Spylight or the Messenger. Those were blasters that you could put extra darts in there if you so chose to do so. This is of course one occasion where you can actually put in 2 darts under here in case you wanted to carry some extra darts around with you. So you only get 3 total for the blaster itself, unless of course you were to go ahead and pick up some others that you might find on the ground or otherwise. So all in all, the Voltage does offer itself a pretty good share of functionality as a whole, both externally and internally. Because, after all, if there's one thing that some people would pretty much complain about, it's the fact that there's little to no screws on this thing. Yeah, no joke. Of course, I've talked about how the Fossa had little to no screws as well until I found out that they were pretty much hidden. There were only a couple of them on one side. But the Voltage here, however, pretty much allows me to say, truthfully, that there's 0 screws on this blaster. Yeah, just looking at the whole entire thing itself, the only screws I'm seeing are just little decorative pieces of plastic molding on both sides. That's pretty much it though. The Voltage pretty much has 0 hardware for you to be able to access the internals as a whole. That is very shocking to me, though. The fact that there are blasters nowadays that have no screws or hardware as a whole to hold it all together. I suppose it might be because of a new molding process, or because they're now utilizing heavy-duty plastic glue or some sort of adhesive to hold the thing together, just like that. So that alone is a pretty big shocker. But it is still unique as a whole. The fact that, well, attack rail doubles as a battery compartment cover with some nice clicking action. I mean, I could do that for hours, but also, the way that you activate the laser is by pushing your finger upward on this little switch here. At first, it almost seemed like that you'd have to press it forward, but instead you have to switch it up and down by pressing it up and down like this. Yeah, if you hear the clicking, that's basically what that is as well. And just like with the battery compartment cover, the clicking sounds that it makes is actually pretty satisfying. So you could just use this as some sort of stress relief if you wanted to do so. I guess you don't really find much over here because of how, well, kind of sounds strange because of the choice in the rubber O-ring that they use for the seal. And not to mention, the kind of springs that they use are also kind of cheap. So, cheapness is pretty common nowadays, with Nerf trying to contend to their competitors waging war with their much lower sale prices and all that other good stuff that they seem to offer. It just seems that Nerf is wanting to really be a good competitor here. And that's why, not only with the Super Blasters being around, but also Alpha Strike. So Alpha Strike and Super are overall probably the cheapest that you could be able to get your hands on in most stores. But Super still does find a way to become a bit more expensive compared to Alpha Strike. Mostly because of how Nerf has put quite a bit more quality into some of those. But in all seriousness, they probably still are worthy to pick up if you get your hands on any of them. And even though I've complained before about the cheapness surrounding the Alpha Strike lineup, I'm still going to say that if you are able to find one, and if you are even able to afford one of either lineup itself, then I suggest that you go pick at least one of them up. So maybe you can find some good stuff about it, or maybe you could be like me and start seeking things out to complain or critique here and there. Well, that's pretty much going to do it for HJN, and probably as a whole for my content for today. But if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.